Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Then, inshallah, we're going to talk about the 4 skills in English and how to deal with these skills. Starting with the word English at the beginning. What do you mean by English? How to deal with this word? Is it the subject? We need to study very well to get high mark at the end of the year? Or is it a language? We need to master its skills. Of course, we learn English in order to be able to master the language skills. So how many skills do we have in English? We have, I'll give you time to think. How many skills do we have in English? We have 4 skills. So what are these skills? I'll give you time to think. What are these skills? And give me the correct order of these skills. We have listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And all these skills are integrated skills. I cannot teach you listening regardless the other skills, or I cannot teach you writing regardless reading or speaking. So we deal with these skills as integrated skills. What do you mean by integrated skills? It means when you listen, you learn how to speak. Why? Because the listening, the words you are listening to, speeches, topics you are listening to, it's speaking of other people. So there is a great link between listening and speaking. And we can say, if you have weakness in speaking, you need to listen. So the more you listen, the more you speak. So if you want to speak very well, you need to listen. And try to look at the babies. How do they know the language of their family? They start to listen more than a year before speaking. So in order to speak, you need to listen. Under each skill, there are a lot of sub-skills. You need to know these sub-skills. As to say, in speaking, there is a pronunciation. So you need to know the pronunciation rules. Move to the other 2 skills, which is reading. What do you mean by reading? It means to understand what's written in this language. It means to decode the symbols that is written. What is reading? Again, it's the writing of other people. As to say, if I wrote a passage and I give it to you, you're gonna read. So you are reading my writing. So the link between writing and reading is very strong. The same as listening and speaking. If you have weakness in the writing skill, you need to read. And the same as listening and speaking, the more you read, the more you write. So you need to deal with the 4 skills, as I said, as one unit. While I'm reading, I'm thinking of the words that I read. I'm thinking of the sounds that I'm reading. When I'm writing, I'm thinking of what I can say. So if I told you, what did you do last summer holiday? You're gonna think of the topic. You're gonna think of many sentences. These sentences, you can write it to give it to me as a written work, or you can say it orally as spoken work or oral work. So it's the same. Okay, try to divide these skills into two types: inputs and outputs. As to say, when you listen, you get the words that you listen to in your mind, in your memory. So it is input. You are not creating these words or phrases or sentences. So this is input. So listening is input skill. The output of this skill is speaking. That's why when you are with the group of people speaking Arabic, you're gonna speak the same language. Why? Because the input of your speaking is Arabic, because you are listening Arabic. You are listening to the Arabic language every time. So when you speak, don't expect to speak the another language. The same if we have a child at your age, but he lives in a European country. His input is English. So what will he speak? He'll speak English. Why? Because the input is English. So here we have two skills, as we said. We have listening, which is input, and the output of this skill is speaking, and it's from the same kind. So my advice for you now is, if you have weakness in speaking and you want to work on this, you need to check the input of the same language you need to master. If I have weakness in English, you need to listen more and more English. If you have weakness in Italian, French, Arabic, whatever, you need to listen more and more. As we said, the more you listen, the more you speak. Move to the reading and writing. As we said, if I told you, write a paragraph about healthy food, and you didn't read before any topic about healthy food, maybe you can write and you can give me any work, but would it be good as if you read more than 10 passages on the same topic? As to say, if I gave you, okay, here you have 10 passages about healthy food, try to read it, then write a paragraph or a topic or an essay. So would it be the same? Of course, no. Because when you write without reading, you're gonna create your own style. You're gonna design your own writing. But when you read first, you're gonna check how to create, how to design, how to order and manage. You need to order your thought. So it won't be the same. So as we said, when you write, try to check the others writing in order to imitate, to check, to evaluate your performance. As to say, if we are in a group, learning group, like we have 10, 15 students in the class, and I asked you to write a paragraph about healthy food, as we said. And I told you to share with the, or share it with your friends. So you're gonna read your friends writing, and he gonna read your writing. Now we are practicing two skills, reading and writing, because you wrote first and then you now read your friends writing. You can first check if he done any mistake, or he did something well, so you can do it later on. As I say, if my performance in writing is 70%, and there is one or two or few students in the class, they have 90% performance, so I gonna learn from this their writing, how to design, how to master the my writing. Maybe if it's the same topic, maybe they're gonna give me more ideas about the topic. As to say, if I wrote about healthy food, regardless, mentioning the effects or the long run effects of junk food. Maybe I get this idea from one of my friends. Then later on, when I ask you to, okay, come here in front of the class and give me a presentation. So first you wrote the topic titled healthy food. Then you shared the topic, so you practice first writing. Then you start to read the others writing, because you are in a group of 10 or 15 students. So you practice writing and reading. So if I asked you later on, after sharing your writing, okay, come here in front of your colleagues and give me a presentation. I need you to speak in front of your friends. So here you practiced first writing, then reading, third speaking. While you speak, when I ask you to speak, your friends gonna listen. So at this session or at this situation, we practiced the 4 skills, starting with the writing, when I asked you to write a topic titled healthy food. Then reading, when I asked you to share your writings. Then if I asked one of you to come in front of the class to give a presentation, so you practiced speaking, while the others practice listening. So 4 skills at the same time. So I need you to deal with English as a language, not as a subject. We need to memorize, we need to study in order to get marks at the end of the year. So think of English as I told you now, and think of the skills. Which skill I need to improve or enhance, which skill I need to work on, and what are these skills and how they are integrated. As I told you, at the middle of the class, when we are dealing with writing, we practiced writing, reading, speaking, and listening. So I cannot teach you one skill apart from the others. So you need to think of the 4 skills as integrated skills. And you can check your performance in each skill, and what skill needs some work. So as I told you, if you have weakness in speaking, you need to listen. So the more you listen, the more you speak. And if you have weakness in writing, you need to read. Why? Because the more you read, the more you write. I hope you enjoy learning English. I hope you practice the 4 skills. I hope you feel it in your performance. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.